Welcome, I'm Jillian Kiefer, Pharmacy Technology Chair, Clinical Coordinator, and Assistant Professor. In this video, you will learn how to accurately fill and weigh capsules with a compounded product. One method of filling capsules is referred to as the punch method. That method or technique is done by punching the capsule into a leveled cake of drug powder. Filling capsules by this method can be messy because you are dealing with large amounts of powder, but despite this challenge, you must still remain accurate. This method is not used as much as a modern tool of the capsule machine, but it is still used enough for the method to be taught. A capsule can be compounded with just the active ingredient, or it could also have some non-active ingredients such as color or fillers. The active ingredient could be in the form of a powder or tablet, while the inactive ingredients are usually powders. To create the powder that will go inside the capsule, we will use a mortar and pestle to grind the tablet or powder into a smaller, uniform particulate. First, you will need to wash your hands thoroughly and put gloves on. Remove the capsule caps or head, the smaller section of the empty capsule, from the empty capsule body, which is the longer portion of the capsule that slides into the cap or head. Then weigh the appropriate amount of active ingredient on a scale. Make sure to place the empty weigh boat and zero out the scale before weighing the powder. Once you have weighed the proper amount based on your compounding recording sheet, place the active ingredient into the mortar and pestle. Do this with all ingredients that will go into the capsule. Now reduce the particle size into a fine, uniform particulate. Once completed, pour the contents of the mortar and pestle onto the compounding paper and make sure to use a spatula to scrape out all of the remnants from the mortar and pestle. Using the spatula, form the powder into a leveled cake approximately 1/2 the height of an empty capsule body. Grab the larger section of an empty capsule body, open side down with the thumb and forefinger. Punch the open capsule into the cake powder. When you reach the bottom of the powder, rotate the capsule slightly and firmly hold the capsule body to keep the contents in place in the capsule and withdraw it from the powder. Punch the capsule into the powder a second time, keeping the open end of the capsule pinched until you reach the top of the powder cake. Open the capsule just as you reach the cake, pushing into the powder. When you reach the bottom, rotate the capsule body slightly, firmly hold the end, and withdraw the capsule again. Place the cap of the capsule onto the body of the capsule. Place an empty weigh boat on the scale and zero out the scale. Then place a closed empty capsule on the weigh boat. Then zero out the empty capsule for when you weigh the capsule with the powder in it. That way you will know exactly how much powder is inside the capsule, as this is how you measure for accuracy. Now wipe down the filled capsule with a lint-free wipe and place the filled capsule in the weigh boat and take the reading. What the reading represents is the strength of medication you are supposed to be compounding. This is based on your compounding recipe, and it will be different for each one. If this reading is what it's supposed to be, you may reshape your powder and repeat the process to compound the number of capsules required for the prescription or medication order. If this reading is incorrect, you will have to either add or take out powder depending on if the reading was less than or greater than it was supposed to be. Once all capsules required weigh the proper amount, they will be wiped down one more time and placed into a prescription bottle for the pharmacist to double check the weights, and then they are ready to be dispensed. Finally, make sure the compounding recording sheet is filled out with all the appropriate information. Now you understand the importance of filling capsules with the proper ingredients and the correct amount. To learn more, look for our other videos on pharmaceutical processes and techniques.